Yo, what's up, amigos? Okay, so now, today, you guys are gonna see how to trap. Maybe. So, a good friend of mine, a guy whom I consider to be a guy that I learned a lot of stuff from. His name is Michael Goody. And I'm gonna see. I'm gonna ask his permission, but first I'm like, yo, let's chat in voice. But if we sit down and we're gonna talk about AMC, and it's gonna be really, really fun. It's gonna be enjoyable. I'm gonna try and do this stuff more often. I'm always gonna ask people's permission. I won't randomly just record. But I'm lucky. I'm blessed to know a lot of traders that are successful. So, yeah. Michael Goody said he's gonna come on voice maybe in 2 minutes, and I think I'm gonna ask him about the AMC. What I think. So this video is gonna be about AMC from as far as I understand, and that one thing I'm very excited about is weekly option play. So what's happening at AMC? AMC. This is not investment advice, and please don't sue me if you work at AMC or the CEO somehow sees this. But my take on it is that they're crooks. I believe at one point AMC was at $2-3. It goes higher. The guys that hold the preferreds or the convertibles, I don't recall which one it was, they converted, which is not a bad thing. It's normal. The price went higher. They wanted to cash in. And the shady part comes in is where they say, we're not going to dilute anymore. They diluted more, and they said that there's a bunch of these options for management. They're not going to exercise it. They exercised it, and then they said they're going to keep that money themselves. They kept that money. The money was kept in the company, but from my understanding, there was also a bonus that same year, and whether the bonus was the exact same amount as what they were expected to get, that's something you guys can check. I don't want to speculate. My intention here is not to bash or smack a bunch of people. It's just, how do you think like a trader, and how do we benefit and grow? So my opinion is, so from that state, basically there's a lot of shady things in the background going on from my perspective. Was it right, unethical? You guys decide. But I think they got paid. The other aspect was they couldn't get the authorized share to increase, so they made an NFT, a separation and bond. Yo, Michael. You're muted, brother.
Okay. Wait. Oh, we're doing voice. Okay. Yeah, I'm unmuted now.
Awesome. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited. So I got my channel voice working, my mic. I'm literally on I bought 3 different mics. And as newbie as it sounds, apparently you had to add a mic onto the source. It was normally working, but I guess it goes by default. It uses bad quality, but if you add the mic, it's high quality.
Okay.
So first question is, do you care if I ask you some questions for the video? I want to learn.
What video?
I'm gonna make a video, but if you say no, I'm not gonna include it.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Okay, guys, say hi to Michael Goody. This is the man. I've told him many times, but I've learned a lot. A lot of the filings that I know started from Michael, and
it's pronounced good, by the way.
Michael
Goody.
Oh, okay. My bad. Everything I hear is so goody, so I'm like, okay, Michael Good. Good, right?
Yes, thanks.
Michael Good. Okay. My apologies for that. But I learned a lot from him. If you guys don't know, you guys should definitely follow him on Twitter. He made a video back like 10, 15 years ago, and Tim Sykes. I think he saved the video, to be honest, because all of his information was correct, and the other information I found it to be not so accurate. That's all. Anything else, Michael, you want to say? This is weird. This is the first time I'm talking.
I was so much younger back then when I did that SEC filing DVD. Yeah, that was so long ago. That was lots of fun, and by fun I mean it was a pain in the butt to record everything and then just do all the research. And I regret that I didn't go into certain kinds of dilution as deep as I should have. I didn't know as much back then. But yeah, I'm glad you and other people, plenty of other people have said they were helped by it as well, and I'm glad for that.
Very much so, yeah. A lot of people that I know, that I chilled with, that people that we study with, and there, everybody's like, yeah, we learned a lot from Michael Goody. So I was super happy that you're coming on board. So my thought process today was gonna go over AMC, because some things I'm decent at is putting the picture together with dilution. With dilution, what's going on in the background. My core edge over my trading career has been figuring out the dilution and figuring out the agenda behind it and how it's going to kind of go. But my issue, I think similar to yours once in a while, is not able to fully capitalize on it as much as I should be. NVEX I knew was going to be a dud. I think I had a 265 short. I held it till 165, but I just kept taking profit along the way where I should have. I couldn't add, and in my defense, it was just like red, and it's like, where do you add? But one thing that I had in mind, I was like, well, I could do a vertical call spread. So, like BBBY, if it starts popping, or AMC, my long-term thesis is once. So the merger is on the 14th, but the government has it blocked until the April. But once all of that is done, and if they were to dilute more, but even if they don't dilute, I for sure see the stock going to like $2 because of all the OS we're looking.
They definitely need to dilute too. If they don't dilute, they'll be bankrupt in a year. AMC, that is.
Okay. So yeah, I guess, so me and you, we know a bit. You want to backtrack what AMC is all about, or?
Oh, sure. So, I mean, the thing with AMC is that, you got all these diamond hands people trying to create a short squeeze in it, and they got exactly what they wanted, but they wanted more. I mean, so last summer, there were multiple times it hit 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last August it was in the in the 27s, and I can't. Okay, the high back in 2021 was 73, something like that. But anyway, last August is when it's really stupid, because you have a situation where they need more money. They're not making a ton of money. People aren't going to movies as much after COVID, and they need, and still the stock spikes up a ton, but they can't take advantage of it because they don't have the ability to issue new shares. They need shareholder approval for that, and the shareholders would not approve that last summer. So then Adam Aaron said, okay, sure, fine, I get what you guys want. We're not going to try to force a vote through to be able to have a higher number of authorized shares. And I forget, when did they create those APEs? That was like August 22nd. So is when those started trading. So they came up with this neat little workaround. And I've seen companies do this sort of thing other times. You can't, they run out of authorized shares to sell, But they still have some authorized preferred shares. So they create these preferred shares in such a way that they're economically equivalent to the common shares. And even better, they split up each of those preferred shares. They only have like 1,000,000 of those, I think. But they split them up into 1/100th of a preferred share, and each ape that trades is 1/100th of a preferred share. And they also have voting rights. So after they dilute with all these apes, they can then go back to the shareholders and say, okay, we want to be able to increase our authorized shares. And well, they need to, they've been diluting with the apes since last September, but the price kept going down, so they get less and less money for each additional share they sell, whereas the price of AMC itself held up fairly decently. And by decently, I mean it's at $5.40 right now. But they, by issuing all these apes, they were able to create a whole bunch more voting shareholders. And then they had this nice deal with Antara, which is primarily, I think, a distressed debt fund. So Antara bought a whole bunch more apes, agreed to hold them, and then to vote them in favor of the shareholder proposal, which will basically collapse the apes into AMC. So then the apes and the AMC will merge after, if this vote is approved. And then, in addition to that, they're going to do a reverse split, and they will increase their authorized share count, so they'll be able to dilute a ton more. This is good for the company. The company will be able to survive because it's a crap business now, and they will need to sell more shares. But the stupid shareholders that own AMC don't like it, but there's not much they can do. So some of them sued, and the company is headquartered in Delaware, which means it goes to Delaware Chancery Court. And a lot of companies are based in Delaware because they are so quick and consistent with their rules on business disputes. I've been involved in lawsuits. They can take years before you even get to trial. So having a quick lawsuit process is really useful. But anyway, a couple different shareholders, they filed suit against us saying that the whole allowing the apes to vote on this and not having a separate vote saying you must have the majority of the AMC shareholders approve this transaction is taking away the shareholder rights. Legally speaking, there's some interesting questions there. I'm not qualified to address them. But the effect of that is that they're going to still hold that vote, the shareholder vote. It will almost certainly be approved because there's more apes than there are AMC shares, and the apes were bought up by hedge funds, arbitrage traders, because you could buy the ape and then sell the AMC and lock in a risk-free profit, with the minor caveat that you're paying and borrow on that AMC. So if the transaction gets delayed, you could end up losing a bunch of money. But so that vote is still happening, what, in a couple of weeks? No.
I think March 14th, tomorrow, no?
Yeah, just less than this week.
Tomorrow.
It's been completely off my radar.
Yeah, that's right.
But the thing is, the vote won't become effective at least until mid-April, when they're going to have a hearing on the lawsuits, and they will the judge will issue an order either granting, I think it's some sort of injunction preventing the vote from going into effect, or she'll say, okay, this lawsuit is without merit and it can go into effect. And if the majority of AMC holders and ape holders, if the majority of AMC holders vote in favor of the management proposals, then the whole lawsuit is moot because they're voting in favor of the thing anyway. In which case, that was an interesting random box fell off a bookcase in my office.
The ghost, AMC ghost.
If the AMC holders don't vote, and that's a problem with a lot of these meme stocks, is that a lot of retail shareholders just don't vote. and then they don't reach a quorum. So if they don't, enough of them don't vote or they vote against it, then we need to wait till mid-April to see what the judge says. And she could rule either way. It's a crapshoot. But again, if the judge allows this to go through, and if the vote is yes, then each APE will convert into one AMC share, and the arbitrageurs who could now, right now, you can buy APE at, hold on, $1.71, and you can sell a share of AMC at $5.40. If you put that trade on today, and in a month this goes through, the judge says, sure, we can let this all go through, it's a crap lawsuit, then your APE will turn, the next day after that's approved, and this law goes into effect, your APE will turn into an AMC, that APE covers your AMC short, and you're flat, you're all out, and you make the spread minus whatever your borrow costs were. So I played this a couple times. I bought a bunch I did the ARB trade in decent size for me. After, what was it? There was some piece of news that, after they filed the definitive proxy that gave a date for when the vote would be. So that was back in early February if I recall correctly. And then the spread started to converge a bit. And then once then the borrow spiked up, and of course your one risk on this is if you pay more in borrow costs than you make on the spread, then you lose money. And then the lawsuit happened. Once the lawsuit happened, I cut my losses, and I actually went long, I think. Yeah, I did. I went long AMC just for, I think I held overnight. Because, again, delaying the lawsuit delaying the closing of this transaction means that everybody who's in the arbitrage who says, oh, this is easy money, they're now like, oh crap, I need to hold for another month. And if the borrow rate is super duper high, then you're looking at potential losses there. And then so after the lawsuit, and then after the judge's, I think it was not just the lawsuit, but on the judge's ruling that it would be that she would rule in a month, there would be no that it wouldn't just go through because she could have just dismissed it out of hand. But that made the timeline delayed a month at least. So I, at that time, I bought AMC, held it a day, sold it the next day, made a little bit of money. And the spread briefly blew way out. And it's still a very wide spread.
Yeah.
But that's most of it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I want to take a step back, and I want to clarify. So the first thing that I've been curious about, so there was, in terms of dilution, we started AMC, and I think it was the convertible holders, or I think it was the convertibles, back in the day when I started squeezing, they dumped it. And there was another thing that I mentioned, but I'm not 100% sure, where management had the option to buy security at a cheap price. And they said at first, we're not going to convert, we're not going to dilute. And then later on, they're like, we're going to convert, but we're not going to take that money out. Everybody has volunteered that they're going to keep that money in the company. And that turned out to be, the next step was that they did that, but at the end of the year, they had a big bonus. And that bonus was equal to the amount that they would have received had they exercised and taken the money out. Did you...
Oh, yeah. That was the executives.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that the case? Is that how you read it as well?
I think so. I don't remember the details on that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that was super shady. But so anybody else that's following along, go ahead.
If you want to talk about super shady, I mean, look at their deal with Highcroft Mining. Their investment in Highcroft Mining a year ago, was that? HYMC?
Yes.
I mean, why the hell is a theater company investing in a crappy gold mining company? And of course, the reason for that is because who was behind Highcroft Mining? That was, oh crap, what's the name of there's a distressed debt fund, Mudrick Capital.
Yes.
And then Mudrick had been involved in, I think what was it? One of the earlier squeezes on AMC, they had bought, they owned a whole bunch of AMC convertible bonds that they had bought. And then I think they exercised those and made a ton of money. And
Yes.
by exercising those convertibles, that gave AMC a bunch more money. So sort of a little bit of a, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yes.
But just such a shady deal. And Adam Aaron is such a pumper.
Yes. And the sad part is most people hate on short sellers, but I don't. What I try to convey, and the reason why I have that YouTube video is, like, I've been trading for 14 years, and you've been trading for a long time as well. Most people that have been trading, we don't think short versus long. We're here just to make money. But the newbie people and they have the mindset that it's long versus short, and it's very toxic because
Totally.
it's somebody to blame.
It's so easy for promotional management to take advantage of people like that.
Yeah.
The reason the reason I got involved in short selling in the first place is, I won't go into too much detail, but this company I wanted to invest in, it turned out the CEO was a convicted stock fraudster who had spent time in federal prison. And I mean, that is so hard to actually get sent to federal prison for stock fraud. I mean, it was just a total horrible guy. And then I follow up, and I keep an eye on things like pump and dumps, and there's so many shady people with all these small cap companies that they're looking to make money off of shareholders,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm short biased a lot of the time. But I have no great desire to be short and to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
If I see a good long opportunity, I will buy the heck out of it.
Straight, both of us were actually long AMC on the same day, and our thesis was amazing. And it was your call when they announced it. But I want to take a step back. I want to go back, and I think for anybody that's listening, is for me, majority of my short comes from. So they make it's long versus short, but when you look under the hood, they're diluting.
Yes.
So that goes with HMNY, that goes with AMC, and I don't want to go off topic hardcore, but what I was going to bring up, AMC, they did APE, and the purpose of APE is actually a dilution machine. So they offered an ATM through APE, and the people that hold it, basically the vote for merger, in my opinion, is going to likely go through because they have the voting rights as well. So they're going to vote, the merger is going to happen, they're going to make money. They're going to blame the shorts for the shorts made the stock go away and etc. But the reality is it's the crooks, the management, the investment bankers that make shitloads of money. And the saddest part is that people fall into the trap, and when you have something to blame, we don't blame ourselves, but the first people to blame if you're losing money on these things is yourself.
Right.
Because you didn't do enough due diligence. You would much rather hate that this is a short seller, this guy's a short seller, they're the reason why the stock is down, they want the stock. We don't give a shit. We will go long if we believe shorts. I have a play for short squeeze, or I have a play for valuation. But when there's dilution, that's something to watch out for. So if you've taken a loss and you want to learn something from this, come with an open mind and try to understand. We're not bashing AMC, but we're trying to give the structure. So AMC was split because they couldn't increase the authorized shares. APE was separated, and that APE is used as a dilution machine tool. They did the ATM through APE, and now when they merge it, I believe that the amount shares of APE is equal to the AMC, if not more.
It's a lot more now.
It's a lot more, yeah. So when the merger happens,
Twice as much, I think.
Okay, that's crazy. When they merge, that's enough on its own to make the AMC valuation or AMC drop. But on top of that, what I predict is they're gonna do even more dilution because
Agreed.
they have the vote on them. So the stock's gonna take a shit, and then they're gonna blame the shorts, and they're gonna, I don't know, all that ape shit, whole diamond hand, all that stuff is, it's sad. Genuinely, it makes me sad. It's.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, the funniest part is there's some people that say we kind of need people to lose money for us to make money, but then I'm like, I don't know if I want to make money from people being deceived.
Yeah, I would be much happier if people weren't losing as much money in the stock market and I made less.
I'm on board with that. Like, if people made right decisions and they were wrong, that's better. But if somebody is, the reason is because at the start I was not knowledgeable, or if my dad or someone elderly or someone foreign that doesn't understand the language, if they fell into this bullshit trap of like, they bought the story, they bought the lies. Yeah. It's just wrong, and I feel like we've been through so much pain that we're like, we can make a bit of a difference, so might as well. Okay, so talking about actionable steps, Michael. So this is now for me, and the merger date's gonna happen tomorrow. So I had a short, and then I was long.
That's the vote date.
Right.
And I think it's still a little bit uncertain whether we will find out the results of the vote before the court hearing.
Right.
I'm not sure if they will publish it. The court filings were a little unclear about that.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I think I was long as soon as you mentioned that the court put a block, and I think that day it went from like $4 to like $8 or something, or a day and a half.
Yeah, it did.
Thankfully, I sold it, and I actually have and then I switched short because I think I was selling calls, and I got a 750 short average right now. I'm going to cover 2/3 today, or all of it. And my thought process is that there's going to be a shock to the guys that are in the arbitrage field. They're, like you mentioned, they're going to be like, what the fuck? We need to hold it longer. Because not everybody is in depth, has done the due diligence that you have, where it's like, well, there's a court date blocking it. So I'm thinking, what are the important dates? So either by today or tomorrow, I'm going to be completely flat. Or my thought process was maybe buy out of the money call, but I don't know. And then the longer term is finding the date. I think you said it's April 14th or 16th?
I think so, yeah. I would have to look that up.
So that's the date where the court decides the dilution can go through or not go through.
Yeah, that's when the court will have the hearing on the motion for a, what is it? It's not a temporary restraining order, they changed it. I forget what it's called, but anyway, whether they'll have the hearing on whether to block the implementation of the vote or not. So the judge may not rule that day. She may issue a bench ruling, so like a written ruling, a day or two later, or at the end of the hearing, she could issue a verbal ruling. It's completely up to her.
Okay, but just so I want to clarify, if the voting happens today, tomorrow, and it gets announced, even if it goes through, they cannot merge them, right?
Right.
Okay.
Nothing can happen until that court hearing.
Okay, but so would APE be tradable?
AMC might move, so the one exception is if for some reason AMC holders, not just APE holders, but AMC holders vote in favor of all of the management's proposals, then you might see a motion from the company to issue a ruling ahead of time saying that the whole point is moot, in which case the spread would collapse, and then you could even conceivably have it close a week later.
Okay.
So it depends how people vote and also how much they tell us about what the vote results are.
Okay. In another hypothetical scenario where the merger gets approved tomorrow, day after, but they're waiting on the court ruling. At this point, would APE go on pause, or would it just trade as it is until?
They'll both keep trading.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason to halt them.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna avoid. Like if it gaps up or something, maybe I will. Like actionable stuff for me would be. Until April, I think there's gonna be some fuckeries going around. Excuse my language. But if it gaps up, maybe I'll do some vertical call spread after April. Like if it like gaps up to $8, maybe I'll short like $7.50 and buy $8 calls for a month, 2 month out after the date where the court decides. Because I think me and you, we both agree the odds that the court stops it is very slim because they can't really interfere. There's a chance that they could, but
they can. I'd probably put it somewhere between. And again, I'm not by any means a lawyer, but somewhere between a 10 and 40% chance that the court either delays it further after April or completely blocks it. So I think it's more likely than not that she rules in favor of management and that it all goes through April right after her ruling. But there's still a meaningful possibility of further delay at the very least.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
And again, that's a very wide interval from 10 to 40%, but like I said, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not going to pretend to be have an exact clue of what might happen.
How do we make money out of this? So for me, it's stay still until a gap up happens. When the gap up happens, then take a small stab, close like really short vertical call spread, and do it a month. So if I think the court date is a month out in April, I'm gonna do a bit like at the end of April or the next month after that. That's how I'm gonna capitalize on this. And my intention is when the merger happens after, every freaking week, like I'll have a core short position, and then I'll also be selling vertical call spread consistently because we will think that the stock will go down. How are you going to capitalize on this opportunity, and when?
So I'm thinking in terms of the merger arb spread between APE and AMC, and so I don't want to be in a situation where I end up, just holding and hoping it goes through and paying a ton of interest on a short of AMC in the meantime. So what I would want to wait for some sort of news to make a trade. I think that this spread may even continue to exist until and be fairly wide until right after the court's ruling in April, in which case the easiest way to trade it would just be short AMC, long APE right after the ruling comes out, and then wait a week maybe, and then it goes through, assuming that the ruling is in favor of management. And of course, if the ruling is not, then you do the opposite trade, buy AMC, short APE. Based on the vote, if the company puts out the result of the vote and AMC owners as well as APE owners vote in favor of management's proposals, then I would put on the arb spread, short AMC, long APE. If they don't put out that information, or if the AMC owners vote against it, but APE owners vote for it, then I don't think I'll do anything. I'll just wait until the court hearing.
Okay, so basically you're not going to touch it until the court says one way or the other, relatively.
Unless the AMC owners vote in favor of management's proposals.
Okay, then you're going to pay your arb purchases.
If that happens, then the whole hearing is probably moot because they would have approved it anyway, even without the APE.
Okay. If if you were asking for my opinion, one thing that I've been a bit worried about, if something is like too obvious, like the merger arbitrage was too obvious.
Yep.
I think people are positioned in right now. There is a chance that we could get another like a super big squeeze. So I think,
yeah, I mean, it's possible. That's why I don't want to just put on the trade and hold it.
Yeah, because I think that's what happened last time too, and that's been kind of the theme. They kill these. I think an ARB fund blew up on RDPX as well, right?
I'm not sure, but that would not surprise me.
Yeah, it went from like 30 cents to $15 or something like that.
Yeah, that was crazy. And that one, it ended up being a great ARB trade. If you put on the ARB trade a day before the merger happened.
I saw you did that. That was awesome. I was like, yay. Yeah, that was killer.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I think part of me wants to, depending on how AMC reacts. Like, at what point would I long? Like 30% of me is like, well, there's ARB people on, and my intuition says, and not everybody that put the ARB position on, obviously the big money is aware that there's a block happening. But most people think that on March 14th or 16th, whatever the date is, that will be the date that the stock is going to super collapse, gap down. And if it doesn't, I think there'll come a point they'll be like, oh shit, something's going on. Or the best scenario, I'm trying to throw scenarios in my head so that I can prepare my brain for when it happens. If it gaps down and then it grinds higher, I'm going to check when the date is, but I remember it's March 14th or March 16th. So in a day or two. If AMC gaps down and then it grinds higher above red to green, I think that would be a signal for me to long AMC that day. Because that could be trouble.
I think it also depends on the borrow situation. Like right now, the interest rate is fairly low again. And by fairly low, I mean 104% APR.
Yeah, it was 700% before.
Available. Like right now at IB, I see 274,000 shares of AMC available to short. So when the borrow gets really tough and really expensive again, then you have an increased risk of a real squeeze.
Yeah, I remember it was 700% when I was trying to short it when it was at $8. And what I did is I just shorted it in the money call. And like 3 days later, they exercised me, and I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll hold on. So, yeah. Okay, that's about it for that one. Is there anything else that you would add? Any other way that how you're going to make money on it? And would you continuously short it, or how are you going to continuously short it?
After, it depends on the price, but probably after the deal goes through and the share classes are combined, I'd probably swing short as well. Because again, you'd probably get further dilution after that.
Yeah. Would you join me on shorting it on weekly basis, the calls, like putting a new vertical call spread every week? Because one thing that I feel like both of us need to do, or maybe that's just from my shoes, is we're good at fundamental and we know where it's gonna go, but we don't capitalize on it, and we can make this into like a cash flow machine if we know like it's gonna. Even BBY to this day, like if it pops to 182, we need to be selling the $2 call and buying 250 calls. You know, we need to do that every week. And hey, if it gaps up to $4, we're protected, right? So if we do that every week, that's my way of maximizing it. Do you have opposing thoughts to that, or do you think?
No, I don't I don't disagree with that. I just need to find a way to clearly set a risk on that and be comfortable with that risk. And yeah, it's just the implementation and putting that into play and into practice. I completely agree on the theory behind it.
Well, when you buy out of the money call, that protects you on the gap up, right?
Well, right. It's just choosing how much I want to risk on each week on each trade. So like, am I going to risk $500 with the covered call spread, or 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever?
Right. Yeah, it would have to be. For me, it's very small. It's like less than 1 R if I'm wrong, because we are going to be wrong sometimes. It's never going to be at once. But really, it's just like we're working a 9-to-5 job, and we're getting paid because of the years of pain we went through. We have an understanding of BBY, we have an understanding of AMC. We're just getting paid weekly, like somebody's giving us a paycheck. Here's your paycheck for this week. Here's a paycheck for this week. So I low-key need, my issue is that accountability. I have so much crap going on in my life, and I need to do less. So one of the things I'm going to do is hopefully make a video every week where I'm just going to give out, I have, like AMC, I'm super short bias on when things get resolved. BBY, I'm long-term short bias on. Meta, I'm actually relatively bullish on when the things iron out. So, and then some of the other things like strong offering plays, BBIO got crushed. Maybe that's not a good example because the offering was small. But I'll find 5 stocks that I have a conviction based on filings, either strong offering or super dilution. Like, can you believe that CEI had freaking options?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we didn't capitalize. VXRT, SRNE had options, NVAX had options, Codex had options, and I'm just like, I'm dumb for not capitalizing on it. So, long story short, I would love if you wanted to join me on weekly basis in that one room where it's like option open interest. I'll probably use that and volume profile to sell wherever I think the volume profile would be. So like when it gets to it, it'll get rejected. I'll do that on a weekly basis, or hopefully twice a week. I don't know. That'd be cool.
That's, that strategy is I'm still not down with. I don't want to venture out into doing that sort of thing. I mean, I'm fine. I think I'm much better off extending things that I'm already doing, like selling covered calls on diluting stocks, for example, rather than just going broadly looking for options interest and call spreads that you're doing and trading based on the volume profile of those.
No, it would only be on stocks that we have a bearish view on.
Okay.
Not on random stocks.
Okay, I guess I misunderstood your that whole strategy then.
And yeah, it's only based on dilution, because no matter it doesn't matter what I think or anybody thinks, when dilution kicks in, things are gonna fade. I made it confusing by including Meta, because I did some deep due diligence and fundamental analysis. Without going off topic hardcore, Meta has 2 billion active users, and they just started. They're doing a test pilot sample where you can have a check mark now, and that check mark is $10, and basically if it's $5 and a portion of them, it's gonna give them a really big cash flow. And the stock had dropped hard because of their cash burn. So, but that stuff aside, you don't have to do Meta. I'm mostly gonna do it only on stocks that have dilution, like SRNE, VXRT, SRNE, Codex. All of those had options in the past. NVAX had options. So, yeah. It's going to be the same things that we both of us have a bias on through dilution. Nothing abnormal.
I'll make sure to follow what you put in that in there then, and then follow what you're doing with those.
Yeah. And then if I do something wrong, just tell me. Be like, yo, how about this or how about that, or it'd be cool to have different angles at it.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to do that.
Awesome. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you too.
Alright guys, I appreciate you guys if you tuned in so far. Say thank you to Michael in the video. By the way, Michael, there's like 40, 50 or maybe 100 people watching, not much at all, but it's better than nothing, and if as long as we make a bit of a difference, that's awesome. Take care, amigos.
And remember, subscribe to my OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/so-good-so-sexy.
110% you guys need to go subscribe to his OnlyFans. Tell you what, if Michael gets 1,000, 100% you guys need to subscribe. It's legit. This is not a troll. Michael has an OnlyFans. You want to tell him what's in it or no, Michael?
No.
You don't have to. Keep it a surprise if you want to.
Sex-related puns, but then other than that, the only images I share are stock charts and stuff on stocks. I don't show any nudes of me or any sex stuff. I'm not into that. Well, I mean, I am into that, but nobody else is into that.
If you guys go and subscribe, if he gets 1,000, how many subscribers do you have?
10, I think.
If he gets 500, I'm gonna make an OnlyFans too. That's fucked up.
And we all want that.
Oh yeah, good old Afghan, bro. Sometimes I get scared what people think. Anyway, 100% guys, I'll put 100%. I'm actually gonna put his OnlyFans link in the description. If you subscribe to him, 500, that'd be effing awesome, and I'm gonna join. And also, if you guys want Michael to come on, let us know if this was beneficial. Michael's an awesome guy. And, if you made it this far, that means you enjoyed it. Click subscribe. And have a wonderful day. Take care, amigos.